Oh, I've got my keys in my back pocket. If you're watching this video, there's a solid chance that you're into motorsport. Now it's 2025, it is bloody freezing, as all of you probably know. And so I'm going to give a quick update and a quick idea into exactly what is happening in the world of motorsport in 2025. We're going to start off with my favourite type of motorsport, or my favourite genre, series, I don't know exactly what to call it, but we're going to start off with my favourite motorsport in 2025. We're also going to hope that no one runs over my tripod, because otherwise I'm fucked. But my favourite motorsport, if you know me, you know this, it is the World Endurance Championships. It's sports car racing. There's a couple of differences happening in the 2025 series for the World Endurance Champs. I think it's the same as last year in the sense that there's 8 countries, 8 races, and it's going to be fucking wicked. We've got Hypercar and we've got GT3, giving some incredible racing all throughout the season. The differences start when we come to qualifying. If you've watched the World Endurance Championship, you know that we have something called Hyperpole. This is their version of qualifying. Essentially, what used to happen is the top 12 cars, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the top 12 cars from each class went into a half-an-hour racing session, which is basically just a shootout, and whichever car came out on top there was then the pole sitter. Now it's changed. We've got 2 hyperpoles, which is, I think, a bit strange, but I'll see how I feel about it when it comes on. Essentially, the top 15 from Hypercar go into their Hyperpole 1 session, which then whittles it down to the top 10 into the Hyperpole 2, which then the top of the grid will be decided. I haven't got my wind deflector thing on. Hopefully it's all right. With GT3, it'll be the top 12 going into Hyperpole 1, and then the top 8 going into Hyperpole 2. The second Hyperpole sessions are all about 15 minutes, so with the length of the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans, this gives the top competitors maybe 4 laps, and that includes warm-up lap, getting the tyres ready, getting the car good to go. You're basically at a very short shootout, hoping that you can put a good lap in. Another difference of the World Endurance Championship this year is we have the Aston Martin Valkyrie competing. It's being run by Heart of Racing, and they're competing 2 of the AMR Pro cars. They are V12 NA and they sound incredible. Speaking of more cars on the grid, Hertz Team Jota have become a factory competitor, joining in with the likes of Cadillac. So that is going to be incredible. Everyone knows the sound of the V8 Cadillac is almost unbeatable, maybe by the Aston. For more endurance racing in the UK, you can check out the European Le Mans Series and the Le Mans Cup, which are both coming to Silverstone at the start of September. This is a huge milestone because it's the first time endurance racing has been back to Silverstone for a very long time. So if you're into endurance racing and you want the World Endurance Championship to come to Silverstone, go to the ELMS, go to the Le Mans Cup and show your support, because that's the way we're going to get racing back in the UK. Now, as a fan of endurance racing, it is really good for me that there are 3 24-hour races, the biggest 24-hour races in the world, on 3 consecutive weekends, starting with Le Mans 24-hour, followed by Spa 24-hour, and then the Nürburgring. Is that the right way around, or is it? Ah, bollocks, it's the Nürburgring. The 3 races to look out for are the Le Mans 24-hour, followed by the Nürburgring 24-hour, and finally Spa 24-hour. If you're a fan of endurance racing, then this is brilliant for you because you've got 3 consecutive weekends to watch some amazing racing. If you're involved in any of this racing, I feel incredibly sorry for you. If you're involved in more than one of these races, I hope to God that coffee has some effect on you, because you're going to need it to stay up. Now, I know not everyone wants to hear about endurance racing for 10-15 minutes, although I could talk about it for hours on end. So we're going to move on to other motorsports. For example, I know that a lot of people are into Formula 1. I'm not. Hamilton's gone to Ferrari and Stroll is still shit. That's basically all I know. However, Monaco at the start of this year, funny enough in January, is hosting its best motorsport event of the year. And no, I'm not talking about that shit parade. Monaco is hosting the Monte Carlo World Rally. Now, if you've ever seen any videos of the Monte Carlo World Rally, you've got to question how the hell these drivers continue to stay on the road when everyone else has flares and fireworks and mental shit. We also see the return of a full season for Kalle Rovanperä racing for Toyota Gazoo Racing. He absolutely dominated the seasons in 22 and 23. He then decided to take a bit of a break in 2024, and he still came 7th, although he only competed in a couple of rounds. Make that make sense. Another interesting thing for the rally in 2025 is the fact that hybrid is gone. Hybrid has been completely ditched. They ditched it for safety reasons and for weight reasons because they were worried about the impacts, the constant impacts on the batteries, that they could get damaged and something could go wrong. So quick disclaimer, when I was doing my research into the British touring cars for 2025, I clearly didn't search hard enough because I was under the impression that they hadn't ditched hybrid yet. However, they have indeed taken away the hybrid element, just like the World Rally Championship, and have instead replaced it with sustainable fuels. Another interesting fact about the British touring cars this year is they've moved on to using 100% sustainable fuels, which I'm a big advocate for. I want to see more races, I want to see more motorsports using them, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens. For any other racing in the UK, you've got some incredible club level racing from the likes of the 750 Motor Club, the BARC or British Automobiles Racing Club, and the CSCC, the Classic Sports Car Club. There is a lot more that I could name, but I'm not going to. There is racing on almost every single weekend. So if you want to go and watch motorsport, I urge you to do so. You know, the UK, Britain is one of the homes of motorsport. So let's get out there, let's watch the racing, let's show our support for all of these different levels and all of these drivers. I, for one, am really excited to see what the 2025 season has coming. I will be going to a lot of these races and a lot of these events, including the Le Mans Classic, and I will be showing you guys a lot of videos on that. But until then, I will catch you guys in later videos and I hope to see you at some events sometime. Cars and Kirby signing off.